You know, it's a statistic that'll make you think twice before buying a ticket. Nearly 70% of major lottery winners end up facing severe financial ruin or personal turmoil. We all dream of that life-changing jackpot, but we rarely hear about the so-called lottery curse that seems to follow that sudden wealth. I was just out walking my dog, a totally normal day, when I came across something that looked like bones. I may be just totally off my rocker, but they looked to me to be human. It was a spine just lying there, and he had been dismembered. Oh my God. Okay, and like I said, there was apparent saw marks, okay? What marks? Saw marks. When a human spine is discovered by a woman walking her dog in Mercer County in January 2016, it launches an investigation that will take years to unravel. This is the kind of brutal public scrutiny that can shatter lives, but it's nothing compared to the private hell the victim went through. Even with a bone-chilling confession, investigators are left questioning the truth behind their victim's unimaginably gruesome demise, and they will soon find themselves with another body on their hands before the case is over. The following report is based on official police records, and most of the footage has never been seen until now. Following the 911 call from the concerned dog walker, police discovered a skeletal human spine hidden among the frozen brush in a fairly remote area in Mercer County. This was the first challenge, a grisly puzzle with most of the pieces missing. Though they conducted a thorough search of the area, no other remains were found. This left investigators with two main questions: who was their victim, and where were the missing body parts? The pressure was immense, a public mystery with a family out there waiting for answers. Despite a DNA profile being uploaded to NAMUS, a police database for missing persons cases, the identity of the victim remained unknown for years. That all changed in 2020 when a Bureau of Criminal Investigation agent working on cold cases connected the profile to a missing persons case in Columbus, Ohio, with the timeline of when the skeletal spine was discovered. 21-year-old Ryan Zimmerman was reported missing at the end of November 2015, just 2 months before the 911 call. Ryan had last been heard from a month prior in September. After contacting Ryan's parents and conducting a DNA test, investigators were able to confirm that the partial skeleton belonged to Ryan. They spoke to Ryan's father, Warren, over the phone. "Your son did. It was obvious that there was foul play involved." "Okay. Right?" There was some remains that we were not able to locate, okay? So it was also discovered that he had been dismembered. Oh my God. Okay. And like I said, I'm sorry to tell you that over the phone, we did not find portions of him being the lower portions of the legs, the lower portions of the arms, or the skull. Oh my gosh. The location of Ryan's skull was like something out of a horror movie, but that wouldn't be revealed until much later. Even worse than discovering that Ryan had died were the details investigators shared with Warren about Ryan's remains. There was apparent saw marks. Okay, what marks? Saw marks. Right. When he was found, it was basically skeletal remains. What do it sound like? Gameland, or some kind of sick trafficking, or what the hell, Ian? Who would do something like that? Those are all questions that we are hoping to work to try to get some answers for Ryan and for your family. Okay. Police were able to track down the 3 people living with Ryan in Columbus before his disappearance: Corey Buzzard, Sarah Buzzard, and their partner, Jen Whitaker. This is where the exploration into a twisted web of relationships begins. On August 25th, 2021, officers had to find Sarah and Jen, who were now married after moving out of the apartment they shared with Corey and Ryan. They now lived at Sarah's mother's house. What will unfold shortly is a twisted and unpredictable case, one that is far more disturbing than anyone anticipated. We had several calls on this subject, usually a welfare check. It takes a few minutes, but eventually Sarah answers the door. "Hello? Police department. Looking for Sarah?" "Looking for Sarah." "That's me. Could you step out for me?" "All right. Sorry I had to wake you." "Well, I think you got a warrant." "Out of Ohio. I think it's a theft warrant, I believe." "Okay. So we have to take care of it." "2, I've got her out front." "All right, so go ahead and turn around." "Put your hands on your back for me." Though he doesn't know it just yet, the officer asks Sarah a question that will foreshadow a devastating series of events. Everyone sound nervous. You have any weapons or anything in the house upstairs that I need to worry about? Don't I want to coming out with a gun or anything, like a charge? Sarah informs the officers that her mother and Jen are inside the home, and they soon join her on the porch. Okay, so what's going to happen? Well, we got to take her downtown. I got to look at exactly what the warrant is for, and then we'll go from there. So it's through Ohio, so they sent us over here. So others sent the warrant over here. We get them from out of state all the time. Know what I mean? What I mean? That was in my daughters. We never that kind of person. But if something missing over there, no. I mean, take some deep breaths, Sarah. When she moved it, while the officer dances around their questions regarding Sarah's arrest, Sarah's disposition begins to take a turn. You been sick? I really late, like we just woke up. Sorry. Okay, have you been sick or no? Just shock. Oh, okay. Despite looking like she might pass out, it's decided that Sarah can travel to the police station. Hey, I'm going to hold your arm for you. Don't fall over, okay? Once at the police station and in an interrogation room, Sarah is told that detectives from Ohio want to speak with her. Hi, Sarah. Hello. I'm Megan Baker, the sheriff's office in Ohio. I'm Rick Ward. Hello. Hello, Sarah. Well, I'm assuming you have lots of questions. Okay. We're going to take some time and sit down with you here, and maybe we can get some answers for those questions for you, if that's okay. Sarah's read her Miranda rights and agrees to speak with the detectives. They immediately dive into questioning, beginning with her time in Columbus almost 6 years ago. Sarah explains that she lived with her then husband, Corey Buzzard. While married to Corey, Sarah had also started dating Jen, who was transgender. Eventually, as her relationship with Sarah progressed, Jen moved in with Corey and Sarah. A few months later, they got another roommate, someone named Emma. And that's a little bit about why we're here, is talk about Emma, also known as Ryan Zimmerman. He went missing. Are you familiar with any of that? Okay, so I guess tell me what you know about Ryan, or Emma, if you know him as Emma. Okay. According to Sarah and Jen, Ryan was newly transitioning, which is why they knew Ryan by the name Emma. However, this claim hasn't been substantiated or verified by any members of Ryan's family. It's a little bit of a touchy subject. My husband at the time had sexual interests. They had talked online extensively, and he had invited them to come stay with us. Which I did not want to happen, but long story short, it did. After Sarah and her partner Jen moved into the house with her and Corey decided to meet someone and reached out to Ryan online. After speaking for a short period, Ryan moved into the Columbus apartment as well. At the same time that Sarah is in interrogation at Sarah's mother's house, Jen is also being approached by detectives. However, Jen is a little more hesitant to speak with them. What seems like it may be a simple conversation about Sarah's apparent arrest for theft will soon have a nightmarish outcome. Okay, we have a search warrant for the residence too. Okay, so we're not stepping outside. We're working a missing persons case from Ohio. The Ohio Attorney General's office has a task force with missing persons. Okay, and Ryan Zimmerman lived with you guys in Columbus in 2015 with you and Sarah and Corey on September 2015, right? And he's missing, and you guys were like the last people to see him. After clarifying that Ryan also went by the name Emma, or M, Jen remembers briefly living with Ryan. The investigators will often switch between referring to Ryan as Ryan and as M or Emma. After only living with Corey, Sarah, and Jen for 2 months, Ryan was asked to leave. Sarah claims that Ryan and Corey's relationship ended and Ryan never found a job, which was part of her agreement to allow Ryan to stay in the apartment. Because of this, Corey told Ryan to leave, and Ryan planned to leave on September 25th. This timeline correlates with the last time anyone heard from Ryan. I know that they had tried to plead with me to give them another chance, but I said that I'd already given too many chances and that it was Corey's call ultimately. And I remember them packing in I went to the store, I was in a different room. I don't remember it. I can't quite remember who was all home at the time. Corey was not, and then my girlfriend was over, so we might have been in the living room. I honestly, I don't remember. Okay. I just know that one minute Emma was there and then the next he had just left. Okay, did you see him leave? Like pull away in a vehicle or something? Somebody pulled up and he got in the car and drove off. I thought that he might come back because he did leave his car. But he didn't come back. And then we didn't hear from him again. There will eventually be troubling discrepancies in Sarah and Jen's stories. The detectives at Sarah's mother's house asked Jen a follow-up question about Ryan's vehicle. What kind of car did he have? Did you have a ride in the car? You never in this car. Okay, had you ever driven it? Yes. Okay, to the store or something? Or when did you drive it? To a gas station. I couldn't get it to start again. So I had to call a tow company to bring it back. But I was embarrassed about it because I didn't really have permission to drive it. So did you drive it while he was still living there? No, this was after he'd left. Okay, were you by yourself during this? My girlfriend was with me. Unknowingly, Sarah has just unraveled one of the mysteries behind Ryan's disappearance. Warren, Ryan's father, had been alerted that something was wrong when Ryan's vehicle was found abandoned. Though the license plate was missing, police found some of Ryan's belongings inside the vehicle, along with the keys and a full tank of gas. Warren had taken it upon himself to knock on neighbors' doors to see if they remembered anything useful about the car or Ryan's disappearance. To his surprise, someone did. One of the neighbors said they saw the car get dropped off by a tow truck near the apartments where Ryan was staying with Corey, Sarah, and Jen. About a half hour later, the Columbus Police Department came and wrote the ticket up and had the car towed. I'm thinking, why would somebody you know was like they wanted it to get picked up? Sarah claimed that she thought the vehicle had vanished because Ryan had returned and took it. What she doesn't add, not yet at least, is that there's an unsettling reason she'd been using Ryan's vehicle that day. Before moving on, the detectives returned to the question of Ryan's behavior before leaving the apartment. Jen reluctantly gives the detectives some background information about the living situation before Ryan left, claiming Ryan was usually in the spare bedroom and was reclusive. Jen belied that Corey regretted asking Ryan to move in with them. That was kind of weird, I guess. How weird? Like, was she just kind of clingy? That's the thing to know. M was so, okay, I have pretty bad social anxiety, but M seemed to have way worse. Okay, and how was M's behavior then? Excessively shy. Okay, Jen also explains the reason for some of the tension with Ryan. Sorry, it's just the anxiety. Sure. I don't like to admit that I am trans, but it was just weird. Corey brought another trans person into the house because that's what they wanted. I shouldn't use gender neutral for Corey because that's confusing. Corey had papers written up about, I forget what he calls it, like the trifecta or perfect relationship, but it involved one man, one woman, and a trans woman. Okay. And I didn't want any part of that. Sure. Full. I'm assuming that's why they brought him in. I think Brian was just kind of the last straw for me. Tell me more about that. Why was he the last straw? That was probably one of the biggest arguments that we had to make him that third person. But I obviously didn't agree with that, and the entire time it made me feel like I wasn't good enough. After Ryan apparently moved out of the apartment, Sarah and Corey divorced, and she married Jen soon after. The detectives take a break, and when they return, they will confront Sarah with the awful truth of why they are really there. Hey there, some more water, Sarah? I don't know if you know this or not. Probably not, but they talking to Jennifer right now. Talking to your mom and also talking to Corey, and there's major inconsistencies. About the inconsistencies about this with your involvement with Ryan. And you know, Ryan is now deceased. He's been murdered. So we have. Corey is talking to the Columbus police detectives right now. We just get off the phone with them. The detective isn't being entirely honest here. While officers have managed to track down Corey's new residence, Corey is proving less than enthusiastic about the prospect of speaking with officers. You're not in any trouble. I don't have an arrest warrant. Nothing like that, Corey. Okay? We just want to talk with you because your name was brought up as a witness in a case. Work a homicide? Homicide. Homicide. A homicide. I don't recall witnessing any homicides. Okay? We're just wanting to talk. That's it. Okay, that's it. I haven't lied to you at all, Corey, okay? It's about Ryan. I don't know who Ryan is. Ryan lived with you for a while. Emma. He also went by Emma. Okay. He was a roommate for a while. Okay. That's what we're here to talk to you about. Well, that's what we're here to talk to you about? And not without counsel. Okay, do you have an attorney on hand? Yes. Okay, do you think they would meet us down there? Can we make an appointment? I'd rather get this done today. I don't really think I have to work on your time. While the officer speaking with Corey once again hit a dead end, those with Sarah begin to lay out some of the evidence. I mean, this is a bad situation. We really need to know what happened with the car. We have DNA evidence. We're able to track down your car, the one that you used to own. The time of this incident, we were able to track down the current owner and we're able to examine it. So we have something happened in that apartment the weekend that you dropped Corey off with that girl in Columbus. The evidence the detective is referring to are reddish stains discovered on the car liner of Sarah's vehicle. Though she'd sold it, they found the new owners in July 2021 and conducted tests inside the trunk. The stains produced presumptive positive results for suspected blood. Earlier, Sarah had claimed that Corey hadn't been home the weekend Ryan moved out because Corey was with another woman. In fact, Sarah had been the one to drive Corey and the woman to a hotel. Investigators spoke with the woman and confirmed that Corey was nowhere near the apartment where Ryan was last seen. While Corey may still prove to be an important witness to the events leading to Ryan's death, Sarah and Jen appear to be the last known people to see Ryan. So please, just tell me the truth. What happened? Corey's given a whole another version of what you just said. Please, just please tell me the truth. I'm not comfortable talking about this. I mean, was it an accident? Yeah. I don't know what was an accident with Ryan. I didn't even know that he was dead. Sarah, come on. Yes. Sarah, please. That I can talk to. Well, you can talk to us. I just want the truth. The other officers also confront Jen with the news of Ryan's death. We're trying to find Emma and, we were somewhat successful in that. Okay, wait. What? Somewhat? What leads? We need you to fill in the gaps, because whatever happened to Emma happened in the apartment where you guys stayed at. And we've recovered evidence from the apartment. We recovered evidence from Sarah's car, right? Blood. What? From the trunk of the car? Blood from the apartment by the bathtub where in part of Emma's body. With this, even though they'd all moved out by early 2016, investigators were able to access the apartment where Sarah, Jen, Corey, and Ryan had once lived. In July 2021, a month before they spoke with Jen and Sarah, authorities visited the apartment and asked the current residents to leave while they conducted tests throughout the building. Under close examination, several areas in the bathroom reacted to a chemical reagent indicating latent blood residue, including the bathroom floor and the cabinet. No way! No way she had anything to do with any of that. She did? No, there's no way. Tell me why. Tell me why. It's the Google search. The deep dives that we did, the stuff that she was into, at least right, painting with blood, licking, drinking the blood, and then the searches that she did on her Android phone. I don't know. I don't know about any of the blood stuff. While this comment about painting with blood will be explained eventually, investigators won't have the chance to ask Sarah about it just yet because she immediately throws a wrench into their plans. I want a lawyer. I can talk to that. Wasn't my rights, right? Well, that's your decision. We don't advise on that, but all we're asking is for the truth. I don't know what to say. The truth, maybe I've said what I remember, and you're telling me that's the truth. That's what I remember. This is going to be your only time to talk to me and Megan. After this, we were not allowed to help. So what happens to me after this? You're going to be booked into the local county jail here. I mean, we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't have physical evidence. That's why I was giving you an opportunity. Okay. All right. Sarah, thank you. Once again, the detectives leave Sarah alone. In contrast, those speaking with Jen lay on the pressure. This is a fever dream. I'm sorry. This is a fever dream. I know this feels like a nightmare now, so we need you to fill in the other parts of this thing. Because this isn't a nightmare. Emma's dead. Emma's dead. He's dead. Corey's dead? No, Emma's dead. Okay? Did Corey have you guys get rid of his issue? Like Emma coming up. Emma's not what he expected. The selfies didn't show what Corey had wanted. Comes up, Emma's completely shy, reclusive, nothing what Corey expected. Corey went away for the weekend for you and Sarah to get rid of his problem. Corey and Sarah were fighting a lot over it. Let's just get rid of the problem. So what happened there? No. It isn't long before the detectives decide to once again try speaking with Sarah, and this time they will hear a stomach-turning confession. Megan here has something we need to take a look at, okay? And read over, and we'll get your thoughts on that. This is from your Google account, okay? These are your searches on your Google account that you said you don't have access to. So flip through these pages and take a gander at that. After seeing the evidence within her own search history showing that she looked up how to start Ryan's car after it broke down, Sarah begins to unravel. What's happened to my family? Well, we'll talk to your family, okay? And you'll get to talk to your family, okay? We can work through this one thing at a time. This is the first step, okay? Look at me. I'm scared. Okay, I understand you're scared, okay? They ever got was a speeding ticket. You're an honest person, okay? I don't think you're a bad person at all. Sarah, let us help you. Go ahead and start from the beginning. Okay, it was an accident. Okay, it was an accident. Accidents happen every day. So what happened? I was angry, okay? I get angry too. And I knocked him down when he came out of the bathroom, and I choked him. And then I didn't know what to do. I never done anything like that. Got scared, didn't know what to do, we're scared. I realized I ruined While the detectives speaking with Sarah have finally made some headway, those with Jen are hitting roadblock after roadblock. I'll be honest with you, I think it's been eating you up. Is it eating Sarah up? I mean, people can have differences with people, right? But to this extent, it would eat somebody up, literally. I mean, you would be not sleeping well, not functioning well. It's a lot, right? No, yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, it is. But no, I wasn't aware of that. I've been living fine. Okay, so maybe things were fine. Things were fine until it came along and then things were fine. No, if you want to go back to that, no. But even then, no. But things have been fine. There was no murder weighing on us. While Jen continues denying any knowledge, Sarah is telling a very different story. I put him in a chokehold and knocked him down. Did he pass out? Were there words exchanged? He passed out. Okay. And I didn't let go. And then it was too late. He stopped moving. He started turning white. I couldn't go near him. Though this is the first time Sarah shared what happened to Ryan, this is only one version of the story, and with each retelling, the details only grow more and more unsettling. Sarah claims that Jen heard the commotion from downstairs and came up to see what had happened. Had to figure out how to get rid of it. So what happened? Cut. We being you and Jen? Was this when Corey was away with at the hotel? Okay, so where did you cut him up at? Bathtub. What did you use? Some kind of saw. Where did that come from? I found it in shed. So you each have your own shed there? Okay. Who did the cutting? Mostly me. Jen, on the other hand, refuses to make any concessions. I just don't remember. Yeah, you do. No, I don't. Here's the thing, you're going to remember these things. Yeah, I would probably remember if there was murder and a saw. And where did you cut him at again? This is all stuff I already know. Okay? I just need to hear it straight from you. Joints? Can you point to I guess what you mean by joints? The elbows, the wrists, ankles, knees, and then up here on my neck. Okay, does Jen help cut him up? Not really, she wasn't feeling well. She got kind of sick. Okay, so I took over most of it. But did she help a little bit at the beginning? Okay, we were both really scared. One of the officers in Gen's interview steps out of the room to take a call, and when they return, they have news that will flip Gen's denials upside down. Got an update, okay? Sarah just admitted everything, and you helped dismember the body. She admitted to all of it, okay? Oh, yeah. So fill us in with what's going on. Right, with the car, you're going to remember everything, So at this point, Sarah's spilling the beans on the whole kit and caboodle. Okay, this is where we told you before we knew where we were at. So this amnesia that you have isn't going to work, because now you're implicated in this as well. I don't have amnesia. Then fill it in. Fill it in. I didn't do that. I just got the phone call from the analyst that's listening in on the interview, and she's coming clean, right? They're watching it live. Okay? She's coming clean, and you help dismember the body with her. Not. Sarah's not going to be able to do this by herself. Yeah, and if she said that, then she's lying. You just said before Sarah wouldn't lie. She's not lying. I didn't say she wouldn't. So who's lying here? It's not Sarah. It is definitely Sarah if she said that. Yeah, I would remember that. Just to the point, because you're being implicated now. So now it's a lie. No, we just want to get Emma his family. Yes, where did you guys go then with the body? All right, let's get to this part here. Where did you go with the body after it's dismembered? And don't say you don't know, because I have to say I don't know for that, because we didn't do that. Luckily for investigators, Sarah is giving them all the answers. This, however, is only her first confession, and she will eventually share another that changes everything. So got him cut up. Then what happens? We have to figure out where to put everything. So where did you say put his belongings? Where did those go? Like his clothes and his, just in one of the bags. Where? We put those in a bin like a dumpster? No, like a Tupperware bin. Oh, okay. And where did that go? In the back of his car. Okay, we were going to drive the car somewhere, and leave it. Till the car would start. This is the real story about the tow truck. According to Sarah, she and Jen planned to dispose of Ryan's dismembered body parts, which they loaded into the back of Ryan's own car. While their plan had been to abandon the car in a deserted location in Illinois before taking a Greyhound bus back, Ryan's car refused to start after they stopped at a gas station. This incident has a horrific new implication. Ryan's remains were still in the back of the car when the vehicle was towed, and Sarah and Jen then had to move the Tupperware bin full of his dismembered body parts in broad daylight into Sarah's car. They left Ryan's vehicle in the street where the police eventually towed away. We started driving and trying to get rid of little things at a time along the road, or is there special spots? In public dumpsters. Okay, so did you dispose of, like, his limbs in different spots? Okay. Zyber, sure. Do you know where those spots are? I do. Just stopped wherever something looked okay? I seemed like secluded or something like that. Couple gas stations. Mostly just public dumpsters. I really don't know. While Sarah doesn't clarify, they only disposed of Ryan's torso and belongings. The rest of his limbs and head had a different, even more alarming destination. Here's the thing, you have been holding back this whole time with all the stuff because I don't think you thought Sarah was going to be honest about it, but she is. Oh, okay, so let's do the right thing. And you wanted to do the right thing, right? So tell us about that. About what? About the dismembering it and then where you went from there. Dismember anybody? You did. No, I did not. That's effing insane. It's not insane, happens all the time. All the time. I mean, you may not want to admit to doing it, right? But this stuff happens all the time. So where was Corey during this? No idea, no idea. Still at the hotel, I guess? So, okay, any communication with him? I shut off my phone. Okay, why did you shut off your phone? I was scared. Well, okay, did he know something had happened? I don't think so. I told him Ryan just left, and he didn't ask any questions. Despite several attempts to get Corey to speak with police, Corey steadfastly refused. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so you don't know Ryan? Okay, so you don't know Ryan? I don't. You don't know Ryan. He didn't live with you at all. I'm not going to talk to you without, okay, an attorney present. They're talking with Sarah and Jen, okay? Everybody involved that weekend we're talking to right now except you. Right now, because right now you kind of look like the bad guy. You don't want to talk to us. Everybody else wants to talk to us. That doesn't look good for you. Yeah, they told me that you would say that. But who would say that? My attorney. Okay. Okay. Corey refuses to speak any further and ultimately never comes in to discuss Ryan's case with officers. Without Corey's help, detectives will have to put more pressure on the people who are talking to them. Sarah and Jen, one thing still isn't clear. A motive. Why were you so angry at him? What happened that you came up behind him and started choking? He ruined my life. Tell me a little bit about that. I mean, I told you the arguments Corey and I had. And I couldn't make him see reason. The officer talking to Jen also tries to understand a motive. You would do whatever you could to make Sarah happy, so let's get rid of him because that would make Sarah happy, right? To get her out of that household. Sure, but they agreed to leave. But she wasn't, not willingly, not fast enough. She agreed to leave without meaning to. Jen points out a glaring issue with Sarah's current confession. If Ryan had agreed to leave, why didn't she simply let that happen? This exact question will be central to the story Sarah tells later. Did Jen know that this was going to happen? No, but she was there for me. Sure. She's your support. You said that. That's what support people do. PR for you. I'm worried about what's going to happen to her. I understand that. We understand. And we appreciate you talking to us openly. But detectives have no reason to assume that Sarah means anything more than simply worrying about Jen, but her concern hints at a disastrous turn of events soon to come. So what happened? You got him. Something happened to Emma, and you put them in the tub and you guys did your thing. Fill us in on that, please. Didn't happen. She's filling in the gaps where you are not filling the gaps, though. We know that you know what happened, right? Because it's written all over you. I mean, as soon as you get to a hot point, you minimize and you kind of look down. It's like a kid with a parent. I don't want to look and acknowledge that I'm lying to you. Surprise, I have anxiety. So when you started dismembering it, right? So what happened from there? Not right. So Sarah dismembering. At this point in time, you're just holding on to the limbs. You're keeping a lookout. What are you doing? No, she's not cutting this body up herself. That's probably because she didn't cut up a body. She just admitted to. No, she didn't. She did. She did. Yes, The detectives attempt a different approach to get Jen to talk. It's more beneficial to go. This is where it is, and it shows that you're wanting to make things right. You want to get things better, and you're showing remorse because the judge. Back in our remorse. Because I don't know how to process this and I'm not showing remorse. There is no remorse to be had, so getting rid of disposing of a body, you shouldn't show remorse for that? Of course you should. You're still in shock that Sarah has come clean with everything, right? There's no way. There's no way she did this. Your world's crashing down. And we're just trying to help you figure a way to make it a little softer of a crash. Even though Jen refuses to believe Sarah admitted to the death and dismemberment of Ryan, Sarah's own interview is already wrapping. I just don't know what to do because I thought I had my whole life ahead of me and I made one mistake. That's exact. Now it's over. Put yourself short. I just turned 30 and I feel like that's one step at a time. Okay, one foot in front of the other at a time here. Continuing to show an unsettling lack of concern for Ryan, Sarah then makes an inquiry. Is there any kind of bail or am I going to have to stay there the whole time? There's not bail right now, but that's not to say that there won't be bail in the future. Okay? Just not right at the present time. Sarah is informed that the charges against her include tampering with evidence, grand theft of a motor vehicle, abuse of a corpse, and gross abuse of a corpse. Okay? I appreciate you being honest with us. That's the kind of person you are. Thank you, Sarah. I hope it doesn't. We'll give you a few points, okay? One of the officers who had been interviewing Sarah heads over to Sarah's mom's house in order to take a crack at Jen and see if he can break through the unrelenting denials. This is where everything goes horribly wrong. Terribly wrong. Where are they, though? The video footage is redacted. Jen is introduced to the detective who spoke with Sarah and has then read the Miranda rights. Am I being arrested? Okay, well, we have some things we need to talk to you about, but you're not saying yes or no. Well, because it all depends on you. So we're going based on physical evidence, and now what Sarah told us. That's my job. I'm doing my job. They're doing their job. I'm sorry, I don't want to put words in. No, but go ahead. They said that she did. She was involved. Absolutely.